Good morning, everyone. It's nothing better than a nice cup of coffee just to set you up for the day. As you can see, I'm out here on a balcony and I'm asking myself, what's the best way to make a coffee while on the trail? I've tried instant, not my cup of tea or coffee. I've tried coffee bags. You usually have to double bag them to get any strength. They're very weak. And double bagging sounds dodgy and even looks dodgy in the cup. So, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing videos just testing various ways of making coffee on the trail. I'll be marking each method on weight, their integration into my cook set, the faff factor, and most importantly, taste. So, join me on the quest for coffee. Okay, everybody, and welcome to part one of the quest for coffee. Today, we shall be using a silicone drip. With all the systems, I'll be testing them with my Sea to Summit X mug, which can sit over there. This is similar idea to the Sea to Summit. It's a collapsible silicone coffee filter drip. Let's see how much it weighs. Just switch on and 81 grams. That's okay. We can put that on weight. If it was a 5, it would be 50 grams or less. So we'll call that a 4 out of 5 on the weight. Now, just to make sure that there isn't any domestic crisis, I have a plate from my Trangia preheater just to catch any drips. There's the X mug going on there. Over here we have the Trangia kettle, which will be heated up later with about 400 ml of water. Now let's see how it integrates. Obviously it stacks on top when they're both collapsed. That will then fit into a cook set very easily. It does fit perfectly in to the Sea to Summit X mug. I was a bit worried that this might be flimsy, but it's actually doing quite well. The only thing that I might think of is that we have 5 holes in here for letting the water drip, but it's such a tight seal it might actually cause a bit of a vacuum once we put that in. This takes number 1 filter papers. Well, these are the smallest I could get. I believe I'd probably be better off folding the edge. Sorry about this. As you can see, I have kinesio tape all along here, so I can start to with the occupational therapy. It looks a bit weird, I know. Right, so let's put, well, that's quite handy, this in. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, you need to wet the paper first. Remember, we're also looking at faffability here. We don't want to faff around too much to get our coffee in the morning. So basically, that is the setup. Looks quite good. Remember, I won't be putting it on a plate, but that's okay so far. Let's introduce some coffee. Now we'll just introduce the coffee. It's about 6 scoops to 1 cup. We'll just get it in here. This should be roundabout right. 2, 3. These aren't 4. Oh, we'll just put it all in. I measured it out earlier. That's about. The cup's 300 mils, and this is 18 grams of coffee. Obviously, that would probably do me about a week. One of these things. So there we have it. It seems quite stable at the moment. I'm just not sure whether it will actually drip if that forms a vacuum. There would be an easy way around it, just to punch a couple of holes in the base. But so far this is looking quite promising. It integrates. The weight isn't ideal. Now we have to see how much of a faff it is and what the actual weight, time for making the coffee, and ultimately the most important part, what sort of taste does it have? Here we have boiled water, just letting it cool a bit before we put this in. Now, fingers crossed that this doesn't topple. We're using a Trangia kettle, and we'll just wet it to begin with. You can see the bubbles coming through. We'll let that go down. It's going in. Going in quite quickly actually, which is a bit not exactly what I was wanting. I'll see if the flow rate is more or less. I had about 400 mils of water, maybe a bit more in there. This is a 300 ml cup. Let's have a look and just have a quick look and see. Oh, it's nowhere near full. So we'll just add a little bit more water. Let it go round. Not too full. And we'll just sit here and wait. Right, let's have a look. It's still dripping through. We'll just add some more hot water, well, warm water now, I think. This is the end of the water. We're talking usually a 750 ml pot maximum. I have 500 ml and others. There is a vacuum forming when this goes in. So we'll wait and see how long it's now taking us. We've used up all the water. So let's have a look. Go on a timer. Yeah, it's filling up. And we'll keep going until all the water's gone through. We've already probably had a couple of minutes, but are you that bothered about the amount of time it makes to make a coffee in the morning? This can be dripping as you about 3 minutes. Put your tent away. We'll put that down there. There's the coffee. It's looks quite a strong Americano. I might have to adjust my scoops. I'll just wait a minute while that cools. Now, faff. Yeah, I think I had to lift it every now and again just to let the air in, but that can be solved with a hole punch. This will have to be squeezed out and packed in a Ziploc for carrying out. We don't want to bury coffee grounds. They're not good for the environment. They're full of caffeine. Caffeine isn't good, especially if you're near a water source. I wouldn't get rid of this. I would carry it out. I have a neoprene bag just for wet coffee bags, coffee grounds, etc. So that would be squeezed out. It would actually probably now weigh more than the coffee did. So you're actually adding weight to your pack. Yeah. This just needs slosh around in the burn. Get rid of the coffee. There's nothing worse than the smell of stale coffee. And then it can go back. Right. Smells like coffee. Taste test. Yeah, that's maybe the next time I would use 5 scoops instead of 6. But yeah, I can drink that. That would be a nice pick me up in the morning. Not too bitter. I drink my coffee black, no sugar, so oh yeah. Excuse the slurpy noises. We gave this a 4 out of 5 for weight. Integration, a 5 out of 5. It would fit. It fits on exactly onto my cup. I'll punch a couple of holes with a hole punch into the silicone just to get rid of the vacuum. I'll probably cut off that hanging handle as well so that it can just sit on top of the X mug, on top of the pots, or even in the pots. That's fine. Taste. It needs fine-tuned. I would say a 4 out of 5 for the taste. And faff. It's stable enough. Once everything's in, you do have to carry out the grounds, but you would have to do that with any tea bags, coffee bags, anything. Leave no trace. Faffability regarding that causing a vacuum, that can be solved just with a hole punch. I would give on a faff point regarding the fact that it's a filter coffee that you can pack up, put your tent away while it's brewing. Time isn't an issue. I would give it top marks, least faff, which would be 5. If I gave it a 1, it would be bloody useless. Okay, so that's the first video in the quest for coffee. Tell me below how you like to to make your coffee? Is it instant? Coffee bags? A press? Cowboy style in the bottom of the cup and add your hot water? Done that. Or do you like a drip? There will be more videos in this series coming. So, subscribe if you haven't. Over 90% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. Like if you do like it. If you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. In fact, click that thumbs down twice. That's all for today, folks. And I'll see you next week with another part of the quest for coffee, part 2. See you then.